Hello everyone, I didn't intend on making a video today, so I'm not going to set up any audio or do any editing, so I apologize if the quality is bad. I'm just going to do a modification of this guitar. I'm going to upgrade the tuning machines, the stock ones, to GraphTech ratio tuners. Now, I know there isn't a lot of content out there on GraphTech that isn't like sponsored or by the company itself, so I figured I would share this because I know a lot of people appreciate hearing from customers, as sometimes it can give a better idea of what to expect when you buy something. So anyway, just quick backstory on this guitar, kind of a review if you will, not really, but just I guess my opinion. I bought this guitar about 6-7 months ago. Now a few years ago you could not go anywhere on YouTube, any guitar channel, without seeing Chapman guitars. Rob Chapman was on top of the guitar world and quickly becoming like the new Paul Reed Smith. However, at some point he got knocked down a peg and humbled, if you will, and Chapman, the brand itself, kind of had a decline. However, it is still kicking and still doing pretty well as far as I can tell. And so now that the craze was over and they're not as sort of popular as they were, I decided to go ahead and try one, because I remember back when they were popular, a lot of people had very, very high opinions of them. Now, I did hear about some lemons. I think every guitar company has lemons. That's expected. But I do remember a lot of the good that was said about them. And so, being as though my lesson schedule really picked up, and the reason I was getting the guitar was I needed a workhorse for giving a lot more lessons, something that was really versatile, something that was basic, simple, HH, hardtail, still looked pretty cool, but also kind of classy, and Chapman really fits that bill. So I decided to go ahead and try one. And I have to say, just as an overall, my general opinion on it, I love this guitar. The fretwork, I mean, this is not the Pro Series. This is just the basic model. I think it costs $650, somewhere around there. It was like $600 US, and it's just a beautiful guitar, just all around. I love how, like, instead of binding, how they just have the wood showing through. The fretwork is just beautiful, and I doubt I can get close enough to the camera to actually really show any of the fretwork, and now I can't, whatever, but they're just rolled. Like, it just seems like somebody really took the time, or whoever did the fretwork just did an amazing job. The pickups sound amazing. The single coil split, now obviously you're never going to get a real single coil sound with the split humbucker, but I mean, this just gets as close as you can get. They're spanky and bright. They're just feels, sounds, plays beautiful. This, as far as that price range of guitars, I just could not expect anything better. It's where it matters. This guitar just kills it. However, the one downside, and something that really kind of irritated me about this guitar, is the tuning machines. To explain what's wrong with them, one, they hold tune okay once you actually you have to wind the tuning pegs in a very specific way. Like, you cannot, first of all, look, you should never tune down to a note, but with this guitar you absolutely can't tune down to a note because it won't hold. You have to tune up to a note. A lot of the issues that it has are indicative of having a really badly done nut. However, the nut on this guitar is a GraphTech nut already, came stock. As far as I've tested it, the nut actually works really well. The string has plenty of mobility back and forth. It's the tuning machines, and the reason how I know it's the tuning machines Now let me see if I can get this on audio, but the tuning machines, they creak, they stick, they're just, they feel really bad. They look pretty decent, but they feel terrible. So anyway, all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and put these tuning machines on and see if that fixes the problem. Okay, so I have all of the tuning machines off except for the last one. I wanted to save this last one in case any of you are doing this with a Chapman or something with a similar style tuning machine. If you notice, these don't have anchor screws or anything, so I just wanted to show how these come off really quick. All it is, 10 millimeter socket wrench or whatever you can use to grab this nut here. You're just gonna loosen it a little bit. Should only be hand tight anyway. And then you can just take the rest off by hand. I like doing that so I don't risk scratching the headstock with my socket wrench. Then once loose, you just comes right out like that. There's a pressure fitting on top, and then it just wiggle it a little bit, comes right out the bottom, and then you can just secure it by doing that so you don't lose any pieces in case you want to sell them or whatever. And now for the ratio tuners. So man, these things are pretty beautiful. If you look, you'll notice there is a number under where it says ratio. The point is that each one of these tuning machines has a different ratio. So the thickest one is 39:1, A string is 24:1, D string is 20:1, and so on and so on. And that is to make it so that when you tune your strings, each string feels similar when you tune it. One more caveat is that these tuning machines, if you are doing this mod on a Chapman or any guitar, on any guitar with an upside down headstock, you are going to want to get left-handed tuning machines because left-handed tuning machines go on an upside down headstock. And likewise, if you're left-handed and playing with an upside down headstock, you will want right-handed tuning machines. So that being said, let me show you how to put one on real quick. What's really cool about these tuners is they come with a bunch of different style plates so that you can put these on many different styles of headstocks. Whether you got a Gibson, ooh, I just dumped those all over the place. Nice. That's what all these different plates are for. They're for all the different styles of guitars. You just find the one that lines up with your screw setting, and there you go. With my particular guitar, however, these are the exact same style tuners, so I should not need a plate. This just goes up through here like so. This pressure fitting goes right here like that. Now you don't want to tighten these too much. Hand tight is good enough. And there you go. That's one tuning machine. 5 more to go. I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera and show the final result. since I've swapped out the stock tuning machines for the GraphTech ratio ones. I wanted to actually sit with them for a while and see how they perform, and anything else that they might have changed about the guitar. Anytime you change a piece of hardware that is actually making contact with your strings, like something for a different material or a more or less dense one, you can get slight tonal changes. I've often noticed when changing out a bone or a plastic nut for a tusk one, that a lot of times it can be slightly brighter and have even a little more sustain. Same goes for when changing out a bridge or any other tuning machines. Now, these changes I'm talking about are something that only a guitarist is going to notice. They're very subtle. Your listener does not care what brand your tuning machines are or what your bridge is made out of. So make sure when upgrading your guitar or making some kind of hardware change that it's at least something that you want aesthetically, or something that serves a function that you need or want. So that being said, the changes that I've noticed are as follows. First things first, the obvious is that the previous tuning machines were not locking. These ones are. Now, as far as locking tuners go, I played many different kinds, and the mechanisms on here feel very high-end, comparable to any Godot or Hipshot or Spurzol tuning machines that are in the high end of the price range. Now, the less expensive ones are totally fine. Usually when you get, say, on a less expensive guitar, the ones that come on it out of the factory, the string or the mechanism will slip or miss the string entirely. No issue with that here. They just locked right up, felt really high end, felt great. So that's really all I got to say about that. Awesome. Now, secondly, now this is both a pro and a con. Or really the con is just that it's weird and I got to get used to it, is that on a normal guitar, or on a normal tuning machine, say tuning from E standard to drop D, it would be, I don't know, like somewhere between a quarter and a half turn. With these, and I'll just show you. Now, that was more than 1.5 turns. So, you know, it's a little weird, got to get used to it, but ultimately it's a huge win, a huge pro, because it allows you to make much finer tuning adjustments. So that will definitely come in handy as I use this guitar in the future. Now, lastly, but most importantly, what I've noticed with this guitar ever since switching out the tuning machines is that it holds tunes solid as a rock. Now, just to show you, I don't even have to talk. Just to show you, I haven't tuned this guitar in 5 days since I got the string stretched out, and just listen. It feels really good to be able to do that, because that would not happen with the old tuning machines. I had all kinds of issues with them. Like I said before, they would creak if you tuned down to a note in any way, whether it was to tune from standard E to drop D, or just to make a micro tuning adjustment. The second you would strike the string, it would fall right out. I just couldn't wrap my head around how the rest of it is just so nice, from the aesthetics to how it feels and plays, and how they could just bone the tuning machines so bad when it's such an important part of the guitar. But not going to be too hard on Chapman about it, because now that it does have these tuning machines on here, it feels complete. And if somebody were to hand me this guitar and say this is a $2,000 or $1,500 guitar, I'd believe them, absolutely. This guitar is so much more well made, at least the rest, other than the garbage tuning machines. The rest of it is just so well made, and it's very well balanced, very well balanced. I'm so happy with it, so happy with it. I love how it just, you know, that modern look and feel, just, but like with, you know, it still looks a little classy. Yeah, I gotta say, man, Chapman guitars, they make some fine guitars. I definitely can see where they've had their issues, but I don't know. Overall, now that I've got these tuning machines on here, I'm totally happy with it. So anyway, if you have had an experience like this, if you own a Chapman and have issues with it, or if you have any experience with the ratio tuners and want to give your 2 cents and your experience on it, please leave it down in the comments below for any of the other, people the other guitar nerds and stuff that like to modify their guitars and do stuff like that. Leave it down there. It helps. Anyway, that's all I got. I think, yeah, I'll shut up. What you doing? Say hi to the camera. No, don't play with my amp. No!